Hello, students. I hope you all are well and fine at your home and doing your studies honestly. My dear students, I must say to you that don't forget to follow each and every guideline to be remain safe from this pandemic. Dear students, in this video tutorial, we will discuss about the chapter 3, which is about the formulas and functions we can use in Microsoft Excel. Excel is a spreadsheet software. I hope that you have taken an introduction of this application in class 6. Let us know something more about Microsoft Excel, which is a very powerful spreadsheet software. Let's start. What is a formula? Formulas are used to perform calculations. The calculations could be the basic calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication or division, or it can be a complex calculation like statistical calculation or logical calculations, engineering calculations, etc. Simply, a formula is an expression that can include a cell addresses or numbers or different operators to perform any calculation. For example, you can see here a2 plus b2 into 5. A simple formula is written to perform this simple calculation. Every formula is started with a equals to symbol. Students, there are two types of formulas you can type in Excel. They are, one type of formula is known as basic formula and other is known as compound formula. Basic formula is what? When a formula is having only one type of operator. Operator is a symbol which performs a specific calculation. Likewise plus, it will perform the addition on these values. So you can see here only one type of operator is there. So this will be known as basic formula. Now what is a compound formula? It's very simple. When a formula is having more than one type of operators. Like here you can see plus, asterisk for multiplication, division, or three operators are used. So this type of formula will be considered as a compound formula. Let me show you an example of these two types of formula, how they work, how we can type them. So students, for example, I have typed some numbers here. Let us do some calculation on these numbers. Let us add 10 and 23 with 45. So as you know well, I told you earlier, first of all type an equals to. It is important to type equals to first. Then type the cell address of 10, that is A1. A1. Then what we like to do with all these three numbers together, we like to add them. So we'll type the plus operator. Then B1, and then the third cell address C1. Enter. To obtain the result, the formula which I entered here is actually a basic formula, and this formula only plus operator is used, means only one type of operator is used. Let us change it to multiplication operator. Press enter. Now we have got the multiplication result. We have changed the formula, but again the formula is a basic formula because only one type of operator I have used here, that is multiplication operator. Let's use a compound formula. Now this formula is a compound formula because it is carrying more than one operator, multiplication and subtraction. So now you understood what is a formula, what is a compound formula, what is a basic formula. Okay, the different elements of a formula. My dear students, a typical Excel formula can have various elements. First of all, a formula is always started with a equals to symbol. A formula can have cell addresses, constants, mathematical operators, cell ranges, functions, etc. Let us understand each one of them one by one. Just have a look on this formula: A2 plus B2 into 5 minus sum in the bracket E3 colon E5 bracket closed. A2 and B2 are cell addresses. Cell addresses means cell references. Cell references means name of the cell. A2 and B2 are indicating two cells which are having some values, and those values are going to take part in this calculation. How these cell addresses or cell references are formed? They are formed by joining the column name and the row number together. For example, this cell is in the column D on the 14th number. So the cell address is D14. Five is a constant. Constant means a fixed value. Cell range. Cell range means contiguous cells. Set of cells in a sequence, that is called a cell range. Here E3 to E5 means all the cells from E3 to E5 are covered for the calculation. Plus, asterisk, this minus symbol, all are representing mathematical operators. These are the special symbols which will perform a specific operation which they represent. For example, plus represents the addition, asterisk represents the multiplication, the hyphen minus sign is representing the subtraction process. Sum is a function here. Function is a small piece of program which performs any specific operation. For example, this function sum will perform the addition operation on this cell range. Whenever we like to perform any basic mathematical operation into Excel, then we can use the functions in spite of writing the operators. For example, just look at these numbers. If I want to add 9 and 7 together, so I'll type the formula like 9 is in A1 and 7 is in B1. So I'll write like A1 plus B1. Press enter. We have the addition result. Now suppose I have to add all these numbers, 9 plus 8 plus 9 plus 7 plus 5. So I do not need to write all those cell addresses like this here, A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5. In spite of writing this, I can write like and press enter. I have got the sum by writing a few things. So this is the advantage of using a function into the calculation. You can use the ranges. You can work on the ranges. So a reference or a cell address is a element of a formula. It is a cell or a range of cells that you want to include in your calculation. Operators, another element of the formula. Operators are the symbols like plus, minus, asterisk, slash, root that specifies the operation to be performed. Constants are the fixed values. Constants are the fixed values which does not change. It could be a number, it could be a text. And functions are the predefined formulas. So I hope you have understood all the elements of a formula very clearly. Cell range. My dear students, a cell range is a group of contiguous cells. Cells which are in continuation, like this or like this, like this, like this. Always when there is a cell range, it forms a rectangular or a square structure. If you want to work on a set of values which are in a range, then you can specify the range by typing the first cell address, then a colon and the last cell address. For example, is equals to B3 plus C6. If we write like this, it will add B3 and C6 only. Means 77 will be added with 3. But if we write like B3 colon C6, then now you can see, as I have written like B3 colon C6, all the cells starting from B3, this is B3, up to C6, all the cells from starting to the last are covered, packed together. This forms a range. You can use the range notations in the functions. Suppose if you like to add all these values together, then you can write is equals to sum B3 colon C6. Enter. So in this way all the values are added together in one go. You can also give a name to the range. For example, if you want to give a name to this range, so you can select the range, go to the formulas, select the command define name, and then give a name to the selected range. Suppose marks. Okay. Now you can see whenever I select any particular cell, that particular cell address is displayed here, D3, A5. In the same way, when I select this range, it is displayed marks here. Why? Because I saved this range with a name marks. And also I can use this range name in the calculation. Suppose sum, in the bracket I gave the argument, that is a cell range name marks. You can see sum marks, where mark is a range from B3 to C6. It is a named range, so it covered all the values of that particular range, added them and displayed the result here. Some points you should remember, students, that the range names are not case sensitive. Means if you write them in upper or lower letters, they are not matched with their cases. The marks written with capital M is same as marks written with small m. The first character must be a letter in a cell range name, or it can be an underscore or a backslash. The range name must not be same as a cell address. Means you cannot name a range like A4, B5, C6, etc. You have to give a proper name that should be started either by a letter or an underscore or backslash. I hope you have understood the cell range now. Cell references and its types. My dear students, let's understand the different types of cell references. There are two types of cell references: relative cell reference and absolute cell reference. In relative cell reference, the cell address is changed during the copy or moving of formulas. You can understand it by watching this example. Suppose here is the data of various students of any class, and they gave test of different subjects. This sheet is showing the various marks they obtained in various subject tests. Now the work is to find out the total. Let's put the formula for finding the total. The cells are B3, C3, D3, E3, F3. I hope you understand how to find out a cell address. A cell address is formed by joining the column name and the row numbers together. B3, C3. So let's type the formula here, is equals to B3 plus C3 plus D3 plus E3 plus F3. Then press enter. We have get total of first student. Now let us find out the total of second student. Now here we have to type the same formula, only the difference is the values are in B4, C4, D4, E4 and F4. So in spite of writing the whole formula, that is B4 plus C4, E4, F4, we can copy the formula by making the first calculated cell as active cell and then put the mouse pointer on this fill handle and drag it up to where we want the same formula. Now what we are watching, that all the students have their total marks now. Students, when we drag the fill handle, the formula in the cell is copied into the next cell. again it is copied to the next cell. In this way it is copied. And what happened during the copy? In the formula the cell addresses are changed automatically. B3 becomes B4. Here the B4 becomes B5, C5, D5. In the same manner B6. So it means when we copy or move the formula from one cell to another, the cell address is changed. This explains the relative referencing. Sometimes we don't want the cell addresses to be changed. In that situation, we required a special mechanism to make the cell values absolute. That special mechanism is placing a dollar symbol before the rows and column names. For example, let's see, we have to find out a discount value on this total price, but the discount value is same, that is 10%. Means for all these set of cells we have to find out the discount on 10% only. So here we required to make this cell value absolute. The address of this cell is D24. Let us type the formula. Equals to 5000 is in B19 into D dollar 24. Press enter. Discount price is calculated for this cell B19. Let us copy the same formula for all the cells. All the discount price have been calculated. Let's see what happened. In the first cell the formula was B19 into $D $24. Then when I copied it to the downward cells, the formula is B20 into $D $24. D24 remains same, but B19 converted to B20. Here the B19 reflects the relative referencing, because whenever we copied the formula to any cell, it changed B21, B22, but everywhere the D24 remains same. How? Simply by putting a dollar symbol before the column names or row numbers. This is how you can perform absolute referencing in your Excel operations. Students, let us understand the cell referencing of other sheets. Means using data from different sheets for calculation. Let's see how it is done. Suppose in sheet 1, in the cell A1 I typed 5. In sheet 2, in cell B1 I typed 5, and I want these two values to be added, and result I want in sheet 3. How to do this? Very easy. Just write the formula like type equals to, then give the sheet references like sheet 1 exclamation symbol and then cell address, that is A1. Write the operator, then give sheet reference of the another sheet, exclamation, and the particular cell address in which the data is. Now press enter. You can see Both the values are added together and result 10 is printed on the third sheet. Understand the formula once again. First of all, type that sheet reference where the data is, then exclamation symbol, after then write the cell address. Put the operator, give another sheet reference, exclamation symbol and the cell reference. And this way you can call data from many sheets and calculate them together. I hope you have understood it. Students, you can also color the sheet tabs or rename the sheet tabs by right clicking onto the sheet tabs. This is the sheet tab showing 3 sheets. If you want to rename it or color it, right click here, select the tab color option and any particular color. If you want to rename the sheet, you can right click here, select the rename option and then type a name for it. In this way you can rename the sheets. Also, there are options to insert or delete the sheets. So in this way you can switch between different sheets according to the color and name specified to them.